As everybody knows, I've been offline for about a month, especially on Substack. And one of the things that I want to talk about is why. As everybody knows, I have an AI company. We're trying to expand our distilleries also, my wife's distilleries. But also, I've been on the Abigail Spanberger transition team. But really, it's about me traveling around the world, state to state, growing this AI automation company to try to help people in the healthcare industry. When I talk about people, talking about doctors and patients, not big insurance companies, and utilizing AI automation to improve life outcomes for individuals. It's me going against bullies, and I'm very good using tech to go against these type of bullies. But I don't want to do a very long Substack live. What I wanted to talk about specifically is this. And I don't care if there's 5 people or 10 people on here. I've always said that crazy has a lot more energy than sanity. I've always been very worried about that. And that stupidity can metastasize. I talk about stupidity being terminal. There's also this other thing that can happen, and I'm sort of seeing it. I've always said that crazy can eat its own tail. And I started to see that with Marjorie Taylor Greene, maybe one of the least respected members of Congress ever, having to turn tail on her insanity because she could see that maybe Trump and the people around him were even crazier than her. And that's like saying, you know, Ted Bundy looking at Jeffrey Dahmer and going, man, that guy's a nutter. So that's really what we're looking at right now. But watching Donald Trump fall asleep in meetings publicly at the age of 79, it struck me that, and I've interviewed with Jake Tapper and things like that, but it struck me that people that went after Biden seem to be strangely quiet or not quite as, I would say, energetic about their criticism of Trump at this time than they were of Biden. And let me be completely clear. At age 79, Joe Biden seemed to be a lot more um, cogent and on point than Donald Trump is now. The other thing you could talk about Joe Biden is I personally believe that he did need to step down, and we can talk about all the things that happened during that period. But for anybody right now that's not rational, or anybody that is rational, or anybody that is sane, and they're saying that Donald Trump is mentally competent to be president, they're lying. You can't be sane and seeing what's going on and automatically come to some conclusion that Donald Trump should be president. You look what's going on with incompetence. And again, remember at the beginning, I said stupidity is terminal. When you're looking at what's happening with the Venezuelan gunboats, when you look at what's happening with Pete Hegseth, with Marco Rubio having to come out today and retract his comments about age of disclosure and UFOs and aliens. I mean, come on. I mean, Rubio had to do that because these things that we're doing right now with people like Eric Burlinson, or Luna, or Tim Burchett, sadly, who I knew Tim when I was in Congress, but something seems to have happened there. Um, them talking about UFO or alien disclosure, that seems to be the top of their list rather than the teetering economy, most likely lawless orders to kill individuals outside of any legal boundaries of warfare. What's going on with Russia and Putin, our complete capitulation based on financial gains by the Trump administration and the oligarchs around him. The thing that's pretty incredible about this is that stupidity is terminal, but it's more terminal. It's very terminal for the American people. And that's what I've been trying to tell individuals. This Trump presidency was about self-enrichment. And the people around him who were chose. And I think we're forgetting about Russ Vaught and Brendan Carr. And we certainly need to be talking more Tulsi Gabbard's insanity. But there's so much crazy in this administration that when you layer that much stupidity in one place, a country will fall. And that's why these 2026 midterms are so important. That's when you see a really bad candidate like Bain, right? Almost win in Tennessee against a Republican. What, lost by 7 or 9 points? She was an awful Democratic candidate. And I think if the Democrats can find a more middle of the road way of letting rationality and sanity push forward, I think they could take between 35 and 40 seats in the midterms. You're hearing it here. But you have to pick the right candidates. And the thing that really concerns me about stupidity is terminal and the energy of crazy is we can't fight nuttery with nuttery. You can't have a candidate that's unhinged and shrieking going against a candidate that's unhinged and shrieking. So I want to say there's a couple things that you can do about that. Number one, you attack relentlessly with sanity and rationality and policy. You never let them off the hook. And number two, you attack relentlessly by mocking their own insanity and craziness. If you can do these things, you can win every election. Yeah, it does depend on if it's a Republican district or Democratic district. It depends on the political voting index, the Cook index, or the PVI, whether you're in a Republican plus 10 or a Democratic plus 10. I get it. There's, out of the 435 districts, probably 350 aren't even in play. Maybe 300. You're talking about swing districts. But what we're seeing, if you have that plus 10 to plus 15 swing to Democrats, like you're saying, in a lot of these elections, the Democrats could pick up a lot of seats if they're actually intelligent about it. So back to my original premise. I had to talk today. As I'm on the Abigail Spanberger Transition Committee here in Virginia, as I want to do things in service and for good things, I don't want to tell you guys I'm feeling slightly optimistic. You guys know I've been saying it's going to get worse before it gets worse. It's going to get worse before it's going to get worse. But for the first time, I'm going to tell you it's going to get worse before it gets better. Sometimes, even when you see the crazy nuttery that's going on, and we've been in this for 10 years now, maybe there is, and I try not to be hopeful, guys. Hope is not a viable course of action. Everybody knows me. I'm facts-based. But it's quite possible that it might get better. Maybe. But that means that in our two-party system, both parties can't go nuts. And we need one party to be able to accept more than just what they believe is a lock, stock, and sort of defined type of politician. With me, I might have one more run left in me. It could be as a blue dog Democrat. I doubt it, but you never know because I'm so independent. I just know that a Republican Party that supports sexual abusers and felons will never be a place for me. And it certainly is not a place where I can accept conspiracy theories. And people need to understand, if you bring me a conspiracy theory, I will intellectually cut your Achilles. There's no way that I can withstand stupidity. I can't suffer fools. And that is my biggest fear going forward, right, is how can I still be me? Because I damn well can't pander to anyone. And when you're talking about other candidates, it's trying to understand where they have to be in this two-party system. And I just ask for people not to be crazy. Just ask for there to be at least one party that can accept people that might not be 100% aligned with every ridiculous thing. So anyhow, Trump going to sleep, Rubio saying he doesn't believe in UFOs and aliens and that they're nutters, Marjorie Taylor Greene removing herself from the equation. All these things are real indicators that there could be a shift happening, but it is about the midterms. So here's what I ask everybody. Do not stop. This is a house-to-house fight, intellectually, idealistically, ideologically. But your ideological stance has to be, I think, based in fact. And I would ask for you to do that. And remember, crazy does have more energy than sanity, so up your energy level. But also crazy can eat its own tail. And also crazy could be led by a doddering, senile, sleeping narcissist who has sociopathic tendencies. That could also be an issue for the Republican Party. And maybe it's time for them to separate themselves from that insanity and maybe try to have a few normal folks come out of the Republican woodwork. So guys, again, it's not just going to get worse before it gets worse. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Thanks for humoring me as I'm waiting for a pod's delivery to put stuff in storage while we're refurbishing our house. I'll see you guys. Please comment. It's good to be back. I did this spontaneously, and hopefully I'll see you Sunday night at 9 p.m. for Denver After Dark. Thanks, guys.